little while ago, you may or may not recall that we had a discussion on AI and AI as tooling and utilizing that tool within a business, within your practice, within your craft to achieve better and more efficient results in total. But what happens when the tool goes from optimizing the business and making the work more efficient and more streamlined to the complete inverse? What happens when the tool starts fighting back? And what happens when it's literally become an adversary more than a helper? Right now, in the fiscal year of 2025, in particular with entrepreneurship and with business at large, what we're seeing is a major push to utilize AI agents throughout your business. Now, obviously, there are extremes on either side of that spectrum. There are people who do it far too much and have tried to completely automate and autonomize the entire aspect of everything that the business even ever set out to achieve or do in the first place. And more often than not, this tends to come with a lot of disastrous results. The thing, intrinsically speaking, is that obviously the technology just isn't there yet. But even more than that, and something I want to hone in on and focus into today, is our use with AI, and in particular, your use with AI. There's a very valuable lesson to gain out of this. Obviously, it's very easy to try to be as binary, as black and white as you can with a subject, especially when you have no formal understanding on it, right? You just want it to be like a light switch. Either you flick it on or you flick it off. It's on, it works, it does its thing, or it's off and it's out of your way and it's not bothering anybody or costing any money. Unfortunately, where AI is at right now, in the current iteration of things, it requires a little bit of TLC, tender loving care. Oftentimes, the best use cases that we're seeing with the current AI agent technology is like I alluded to earlier, sprinkling, if you will. It has to be married with human effort and with human craft. To give you like a general use case that you've probably ran into, oftentimes these customer service, these call center outlets, these retail part ends of business that are supposed to specifically and wholly deal with customer service and customer relations, when they get completely automated and obfuscated, you as the customer get pissed. Rightfully so. It's incredibly annoying when you have an issue with your policy, your contract with the company, with the service at hand, and you need to call and speak with a representative. You need to get to the bottom of the issue at hand. And how easy is that when they've just completely sold everything off to an automated script bot that is literally programmed to pre-feed you about 5 to 7 different automated, generalized responses that bear no actual compassion for the issue or have any real humanity in it at all, for that matter. So obviously it's really easy to see how these systems can be obtusely used and just irreverently thrown in people's faces to honestly just chase the customer away at that point. But that's not what I want to talk about today. What I want to focus on is actually considering how we can utilize AI in a proper way, in a proper manner. The thing is oftentimes, at least in my own personal experiences, when I've utilized AI, what I've realized is that it's very apparent. AI tends to have a fingerprint, if you will, and it's a very obvious fingerprint. maybe not to everyone out there, but I feel like to myself and to a lot of others around me in particular, it's very easy to notice when something has been AI generated or has been tainted with AI. And oftentimes, one of the best solutions to this is to simply go back yourself and spend an additional 15, 20, even 30 minutes just putting a bit of your own handcraft into the mix. Depending on the medium, depending on what you're utilizing in particular, this can be very easy to do, and this can also be very complex and very tough. That needs to be a consideration when you're bringing these agents online, when you're utilizing this type of technology. No longer are we in a stage of capitalism where you can simply buy an amenity or pay for a service, plug it in, and just let it run. That's soulless. That's part of, in my opinion, the reason why we have the problems we have with a lot of these fucking evil corporations, these evil entities that are literally just in it for the money, and they're not considering the product, the service, or the customer at all. We need to restore a bit of art and craft back into the art and craft of making a dollar. And AI is a great fucking way to do it. Even if you're not an artist, you can take an AI generated image and you can still enhance it, edit it, and craft it into your own. Even if you're not a musician, you can utilize artificial intelligence to generate music, to generate background noise that you can, yet again, then go and enhance and make your own. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to utilize these different mediums in a collaboration, in an amalgamation all brought together. But it does take work, and it does take effort, and that can be an expensive commodity unto itself. One of the biggest misconceptions, obviously, if you really think about it, with AI is that the AI is just going to come in and it's just going to take everyone's job and it's just going to do everything for us and it's magic and it's wonderful and we'll all be able to live in a communist post-scarcity society and everything will be bubbles and champagne and everything will be A-okay and you'll never have to work anymore. You can spend all day, every day with the kids, with the wife, with the family, just living life, living large and enjoying the luxuries provided. Now, obviously, that's a massive fucking line of bullshit, okay? And if you need to hear that, I'm sorry. But let me help you. That's a massive line of bullshit. Here's the simple truth. You want to know who's going to be the next Elon Musk? You want to know who's going to be the next Jeff Bezos? You want to know who's going to become the next billionaires and trillionaires of our world? Simple. Those who learn how to marry AI. There's a scary statement for you, huh? Those who learn to utilize these systems alongside their own work are going to be the real benefactors and the real power players in the next phase of this societal existence, if you will. The people who manage to combine artificial intelligence, but not just crutch on it, those people will be the ones buying yachts, driving Teslas, and taking over the world. They'll be the hated amongst Capitol Hill. They'll be the ones that are clearly impoverishing all the rest of us because they were smart enough. They were smart enough to utilize innovation when the opportunity presented itself. And that's the key right there. But of course, there's one other missing component that we're not really mentioning here. And the thing is, well, if I have to mention it, then you clearly ain't got it. But to the layman, I'll be considerate today, and I'll give it a little whisper, okay? Dumb luck, folks. It's dumb luck. You need a bit of dumb luck.